For student and new pilots like me, speaking with ATC can be confusing and become very daunting. A very good way of getting comfortable with speaking with ATC is to practice. And the best way is to practice at home before you actually get into the cockpit. So when looking for options that I can use to practice my ATC communication skills at home, I came across something called PilotEdge. PilotEdge is a virtual air traffic control network for flight simulators. So you can connect your flight simulators to this network, and after you are connected, you will be able to speak with real humans who are acting as air traffic controllers on the other end and get clearances and taxi instructions just like you would in the real world. All of this in the comfort of your home without spending a lot of money. PilotEdge is a subscription service and we'll come to that later. Now, how does it work? And there are links here that you can see. Create an account on the PilotEdge network and then download the PilotEdge client software for your particular simulator and connect to the network. And once you are connected, it's as if you are flying in the real world just using your simulator. And there is a trial option. You can try it absolutely free for up to 5 hours or 14 days, whichever comes earlier. So there are some samples given here of how you would speak with ATC on PilotEdge network, which is not different from how you would speak with ATC in the real world. What simulators are supported? XPlane, different versions, Microsoft Flight Simulator, different versions, and Lockheed Martin Prepared, version 2.2 plus. Now, what's the coverage area of PilotEdge? PilotEdge is available in the Western US, and on the homepage, you will see coverage. So they are available in the Western US, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific, 7 days a week. And if you scroll down here, there is a map. PilotEdge coverage is divided into two distinct areas. The green area here is the LA area, and everything else is the Western expansion. To look at the cost of PilotEdge, you can see the pricing is on the homepage right here, $19.95 a month. That's for one of the areas. And if you click on pricing, you will see that if you just want the LA area, $19.95 a month or $179 annual, or you can sign up for the Western expansion only or combined $35 a month. Before signing up for a subscription or even a trial account, there are a lot of things on the website that you can do for free to just get a feel for how this service works and whether it will work for you. If you go to Pilot Center and click on audio recordings, PilotEdge stores the last 90 days of ATC transmissions and all the silencers are removed. So it's very nice, and you can download ATC communication for different areas and just listen to them. You can also look at the ATIS for any airport supported by the network. So let's say Denver Airport, and this is the current ATIS for Denver Airport, and you can use this when flying in PilotEdge for planning out your flights. There is also listen to live audio. So even without creating a network, anyone can just listen to the current communications going on in the network. You can download the PilotEdge receiver and dial in. So I have already downloaded and unzipped the PilotEdge receiver. So I'm going to run this executable and say connect. You don't need an account for this. Anyone can connect and click on the areas.
Crossband eyes at or above 3,000 for 172.
So approach 9 Delta X-ray. Was that a left or right turn?
Right turn direct Santa Monica.
Right turn direct Santa Monica, 9 Delta X-ray. Thank you. Sorry about that.
So these are pilots practicing in the network at this time, and we are listening to them live. What you can also do is you can go to view and click on live map, and this will bring you to the PilotEdge map of simulators connected and the aircrafts flying in the network right now. So if I zoom out, this is where you will see. So there's someone in the Denver area right now. There is one in Dallas Fort Worth. There's one here looks like in Washington at Yakima Airport or close to Yakima. And a lot of PilotEdge pilots who practice on the network are actually concentrated in the California LA area, because this is the primary coverage area of PilotEdge. So you will see a bunch of planes here. The other thing that I love about this is if you go to Pilot Center, there are free training workshops that are posted here, and you can just listen to any of them, and these are chock full of information. I listened to I think 2 of them. They are a bit long, and some of them are like 1 or 2 hours, but full of information. After going through the resources on the website, if you want to get started with the network, then everything is under Pilot Center. Getting started, download software, and your first flight. PilotEdge has some very good training programs for both VFR and IFR flights. So let's look at CAT ratings. Alright, so CAT ratings are communications and airspace training program. So this is for VFR flights and very structured. It goes from super easy to highly complex class B transitions and all that. And there is a similar one for instrument training as well. Now let's look at getting PilotEdge working with XPlane. Go to Pilot Center and download software. You need to be logged in, signed into the website to be able to download the software, and I'm using XPlane, so I will use the XPlane link here. And let's go to download links. So there is PilotEdge.zip. I have already downloaded it and it's here in my downloads folder, PilotEdge.zip, and inside there is this PilotEdge folder. So the whole folder needs to be copied into your XPlane resources and plugins folder. So I already have copied it here, PilotEdge, but this is where you would paste it. After copying the plugin folder, start or restart XPlane and click on new flight. And I have the Cessna G1000 version selected because that's what I use. And for the airport, I am going to load Yakima Airport in Washington State. This airport is part of the recommended first flight on PilotEdge website, and I'm familiar with this one, so I'll just use it. And click on customize. If this says start on runway, just change it to start on a ramp, because we don't want to spawn on a runway or in the air when we connect to the PilotEdge network, because other pilots might be practicing and we don't want to get into the movement area without being cleared by ATC. So I'll just select ramp here and confirm and say start flight. The aircraft and airport are now loaded in my sim. So I will go to plugins, PilotEdge. Now before I connect, I am going to check my preferences. And I want to make sure that my audio input and output devices are set correctly. PilotEdge can use different audio device than what your simulator is configured to use. So my propeller sound is configured to come out of the laptop speaker or external speakers. But for PilotEdge, I'm going to switch it to my headset. So here headset, just so that I can hear ATC clearly over the prop sound. So this will simulate noise cancelling headphones as well. And I will play a test sound here.
Audio check complete.
Okay, so I hear audio check complete in my headset while the prop sound is coming out of my external speakers.
Audio check complete.
Okay, this is done. After preferences, I will connect to the PilotEdge network, and in the connect dialog, use the same email and password that you use to sign up on the network on the website, and then provide a valid call sign. Now, for the call sign, if you go to the PilotEdge website and click on About and FAQ, it will bring you to the FAQ page. And on this page, I will do a Control F for call sign. There is a section which says what kind of call signs you can use on PilotEdge. Any valid aircraft call sign according to FAA and ICAO rules is acceptable, but you can read the details here. Going back to the sim, I have set my call sign already, and I will ignore the rest of it and say connect.
Connected to PilotEdge.
Now I am live on the network. Now after that is done, I will go to plugins, PilotEdge and radio debug, and I can use this to transmit to the PilotEdge test frequency, which is 123.45. On COM1 and COM2, you see I have set it to 123.45. If it is not set, then use your COM buttons here on the aircraft to tune your radios to 123.45, because otherwise you will be transmitting live on the network and the controllers will be able to hear you, and that will disrupt the network itself. So just make sure these frequencies are set correctly. I am going to enable test mode. It doesn't transmit anything on the network, but locally it will play you your audio back, so you can listen to what you are going to transmit on the network. So I will enable test mode, and my COM1 is selected, and I will just use my push to talk button. Hello mic test. Hello mic test. Hello mic test. So I can hear myself back here, and I can do the same on COM2, except that in XPlane on some aircrafts, the COM2 is not wired correctly for transmission. So COM2 can only receive, but COM1 can transmit. And this is not a PilotEdge problem. This is an XPlane problem. So if I try transmitting here, pressed hello, you see the pressed here, and I'm speaking, but I don't hear anything back. So which means my COM2 is not transmitting. So just something to be aware of. What I'm going to do is use COM2 just for listening to ATIS, but I will use COM1 for all my transmissions. Now after this is done, you can disable test mode and say OK to get out of that dialog, and you can actually adjust your comm frequency to actually dial into the Yakima tower and ground frequency so you can listen to the radio. But again, I'm not going to transmit anything. I'm just going to listen to the communication that's going on until I'm actually ready to make a flight. And for that, I looked up the Yakima tower frequency. So if you go to AirNav or just Google Yakima frequencies, it will bring this up. And you can see the Yakima tower is 133.25. So I will change to 133.25 on COM1. And again, I'm doing it using my external G1000 unit, but you can do it using the dial here as well, the COM dials, 0.25, and switch it to active.
Great Falls altimeter, 2969er, common main level 230.
And Phoenix approach Southwest 570 is established.
Southwest 570, contact Phoenix Tower, Balti.
Contact Tower Balti, Southwest 570.
Okay, there it is. I can listen to ATC here now, and if I wanted to start a flight, then I would do just like in real life, call up the tower or call up ground and ask for clearance and then start taxiing and fly out. And after we are done with this test, I'll just go ahead and disconnect from PilotEdge.
Disconnected.
And in future, I will be doing some test flights and I will record some of those flights and post it. Be sure you are subscribed so you can get notified when those videos are posted. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.